The story of how I became a minimalist stretches back 3 years ago and starts in Brooklyn, New York. For an entire year, I paid for this 2-bedroom apartment by myself by not saving money for taxes, which eventually put me in tremendous debt. I justified this stupidity by building a studio for shooting YouTube videos in the spare room. Amazon Prime made it so easy and addicting to just buy whatever filmmaking thing I thought I needed at the moment. I bought and discarded and returned so many things over and over again. And I was also in the business of making review videos on YouTube about the tools that I used to make the videos that I used to make the videos. It was just an endless loop to buy things that I didn't really need and then convince other people to do the same. And this makes it pretty easy to understand why Amazon is as big as it is today. I thought having a boosted board and studio was just what I had to do, and I didn't even know what I was doing. Kraig with a K Adams here, and I just finished my YouTube space. I was a YouTuber living in New York City shooting basically other YouTubers vlogging in New York City as well. We would link up, shoot us hanging out, and that was about it.
Pack some things for the shoot though.
It's so cringy to make videos about making videos, and I feel like I didn't actually do anything during these vlogging years, and I was just following what I saw other people doing online.
Look at this mess. This is what it looks like after I shoot a video here. I've been reading a book called The Daily Stoic. And pretty much every morning, I pick up this paper book. Yes, I know it's a paper book. And I read.
I only read one page of this book and never touched it ever again.
How do you like my new setup? My desk looks clean, don't it?
I hated shooting videos about nothing, talking about doing work but not doing work. I wanted to actually create something genuine and honest. I wanted to give up forced positivity. I needed a big change. I discovered minimalism and believed that it would help me gain back some amount of creative control.
I went on a tweet storm. I'm in such a mood. I don't know. I feel like I need to get rid of stuff. I need to do something, and I don't know. It's like, I'm throwing things out. I'm getting rid of things. I am making a plan. I'm gonna get rid of everything. Everything. I'm gonna get rid of it all. What do I not need? What is holding me back?
This was the official start of my non-stop obsession of getting rid of things.
Do I need it though? I could shoot with available light or just have crappier looking interviews. Maybe I just need to get more creative about where I shoot and just not be tied to this spot right here. This monitor, I don't need it. I've got perfectly fine laptop. And if I wanted a larger screen or a better laptop, I could get one and trade this. I edit off of this. It's 1 terabyte. I could get a larger hard drive on my computer and get rid of that. It seems like such a small thing, but that is important to me and I could do it very easily. I'm going to get rid of that hard drive, get a new computer, and edit off of that. This mic is really nice. I love this mic. It's so cool, and it sounds great. But do I need it? No, I don't. I don't need it. This is tying me down. It's holding me to this spot. I want to be free to create and explore and not be safe here. I feel safe. I don't know what's going on.
I started to constantly analyze the value of everything and eventually everyone around me.
I'm gonna sell all this. This might be hard to ship. I sold that. I'm shipping that out.
Ironically, I would actually buy back a good number of these items later on, especially podcasting gear. Amazon Prime made it so extremely easy to repurchase and return things when I changed my mind.
Shipping these out. I'm about to put these up for sale. Getting there. So right now I'm working very hard to get to something I call Project Zero.
But what is Project Zero?
Project Zero is having no projects, having nothing to edit, no footage, nothing currently being worked on. That sounds so exciting to me.
I started saying no to more and more projects, events, and meetings. It's incredibly healthy to know your own value and to only focus on the projects that allow you to grow, but I naively destroyed a ton of relationships with brands and people that I just didn't need to. I definitely overstepped saying no, burnt a lot of bridges, and just didn't give enough. I was only taking during these relationships.
Is this just a stupid label that is cool and trendy right now? Yeah, I'm a minimalist, bro.
I'd go on to create 3 almost identical minimalism apartment tour videos. So yeah, I would say I jumped on the trend wagon.
Being like this eliminates clutter, distractions. I know exactly what I own, and everything that I do own has a purpose. And if I'm not attached to any of this furniture, I think it would literally take me like a half an hour to gather my things to leave. So this video is a turning point. You're gonna notice some changes, and I'm gonna do my best to explain why, and to bring you on that journey as I embrace minimalism. I get very intentional with everything that I do. I'm excited. It's pretty much Kraig 2.0.
People who say they're happy and pumped for the future like this are usually not. I re-signed my lease and had my then girlfriend move in with me.
Once she gets here, everything is going to change. It's a good thing. This is not a library. What are you doing to me?
Books are fun.
After kind of running out of physical things to get rid of, I started to go through my digital space.
Distraction free, and I try to keep this space as clean as possible. Every time I open my MacBook Pro, I am greeted with this empty void, but it's kind of calming. Xbox 55 f1.4 and then the Sony a6500 all sold and ready to be shipped out.
So that makes me happy. That was very easy to do. So all I have to do is review this and then I can get rid of that, and then things are looking better.
For a few months, I edited at this co-working space, but also started to look into my taxes, finances, and bookkeeping for the first time ever. I quickly realized that I was in a large hole and needed a plan to get out. I embraced what I call financial minimalism. I analyzed years of income and expenses, eliminated as much spending as possible, and figured out a hard plan on how to get out of debt.
You know, labels are weird, and I feel like whenever you label yourself something and put that into the world, especially the internet, people like to jump on you and make fun of you and stereotype you. So minimalism has a weird rap. I feel like most people think about this when they hear the word minimalist. Yeah, sure, I think a lot of people jump on trends because they think it's trendy, but I've got a good reason for why I'm a minimalist. It's not just about owning less stuff, it's more about reevaluating what you value, developing a good filter, and getting rid of distractions. I feel like most people focus on improving their good qualities or getting better at this one thing, when it could be almost as efficient to just cut out distractions and get rid of bad things. It's like watering and feeding a plant versus weeding everything else that might try to kill it. I don't know, is that a metaphor? I don't know much about metaphors. I made 2 vlogs and they were all pretty much about me just kind of going crazy in my apartment.
I need to get rid of stuff.
Filming things and being like, I could get rid of this. I don't know why I have this. I don't need this. I got rid of a ton of things. I got coffee things, got rid of coffee things, then rebought those coffee things, and then bought a bunch more coffee things.
I got rid of all of my coffee things again, just like a couple days ago. So are you starting to see a pattern?
This morning I went down to a coffee shop and got coffee there. So it's like, what's it even? You get some things, you get rid of some things, sometimes you buy those. It's all good, people. It all comes down to what is valuable, what passes your filter. You've got an invisible filter of yes and no. This plant, is it gonna pass my filter? I kind of like it. It's beautiful and I like to have it in my apartment, and plus my girlfriend wants it, so it passes the filter. I, like most people, had a ton of those Apple earbuds just laying around because you never know when you might need one, but now I've got AirPods. and Bose Quiet Comforts. I use these like 90% of the time because they're so good. I value these greatly, but then I'll use these on airplanes or if I want to shut out the world with beautiful noise canceling technology. They pass the filter. Kraig, you are living with a girlfriend now. Hasn't that destroyed your minimalism? She put up a ton of art, which is cool. I just wouldn't have it up. So that's apartment things. What about tools, filmmaking gear, things that I use to express myself as a filmmaker and make money? Got rid of a ton of things that distracted me from the basics. Got rid of sliders, got rid of gimbals, got rid of a lot of support gear.
I started to really hate shooting weddings and tried to figure out what it would take to make the switch to my other YouTube channel, to make a full-time income shooting non-wedding filmmaking stuff like travel or whatever I was up to.
The decision to stop shooting weddings was somewhat impacted by the fact that I needed so much stuff to shoot weddings. And honestly, I think I'm a better filmmaker because I only take what I need. I get better results with a smaller amount of stuff. It makes sense, right? There.
First up is the living room. I really like having this kitchen table here because not only can we cook and prepare food, we can also do laptop work if I need to have like a seat and a desk area. Now technically, because we're both in the other room, we don't need this, but it actually is very useful because I stay at home and work and have equipment, and then India is also a artist. She has merch and inventory and uses her desk to do work. She has a ghost. I don't know, she wants to keep the ghost, so I'm just gonna leave it at that. I'm not gonna say anything. So this is my pride and joy.
I would actually sell this entire computer setup on a whim, and then a year later, rebuy almost the exact same computer setup.
Just a bunch of support gear, some light stands, and podcasting boom arms. And I've actually cut down a lot of this stuff. I used to have way more, especially wedding filmmaking gear. And this is my current closet setup. We have a hiking bag for backpacking.
I'd eventually make the realization that the things that I packed to go on a trip was almost everything that I needed, and that I could even store this stuff inside my backpack and rolling case. I was always ready to take a trip. This would in turn cause me to experiment with living out of a single backpack and not having anything in my apartment when I did go on a trip.
How's it going? My name is Kraig Adams. I'm a traveling filmmaker, YouTuber, nomad, living out of a single backpack. So this 45-liter contains everything that I own, well, plus the camera and the microphone and the tripod, but this is everything.
What followed was a good solid year of desperate travel, just trying to escape, but then every time just coming home back to Brooklyn. I'd go to Colorado and then come home. I'd go to Thailand, come home. Go to Mexico, come home. Bali, back to Brooklyn, but this time to an empty apartment. Traveling around the world and hiking in the mountains alone is probably the purest expression of minimalism. And I'm having a lot of fun shooting these hiking videos, and yes, minimalism has helped me tremendously to get to this point. It's helped me in a lot of different ways. I know what I value, and I only own and engage in things that have passed my filter. My creative process is absolutely streamlined. I've optimized my income to make the most amount of money doing exactly what I want to do. I'm able to live anywhere, move about as I please, and I work for myself. But minimalism has emphasized my major flaw, narcissism. I've worked tirelessly to have complete control over my life and to not need help from anyone. But I'm starting to learn more and more that it's just not healthy. Being able to block people with a single click online makes me think that I'm able to do it in real life. If I feel personally attacked, I have conditioned myself to easily cut people out of my life. I definitely rely on the attention I receive from social media and my followers to make up for real life connections and to just feel good about myself and justified in my own actions. But I still really struggle with feedback and constructive criticism and dealing with replies and how I consume social media in general. I can't help checking views, comments, likes, to see how things are doing and what people think about me. My perspective changes to the environment, so even if I cut out distractions and do everything I can to focus on the good, the bad just fills in the gaps wherever I am. More money, more problems is probably the best way to describe that. One of my biggest fears is that I will never be happy with anything that I achieve or get. Real relationships built on mutual trust, respect, and selflessness is what's really important, and I'm just afraid that I've wasted so much of my life focusing and pursuing other things. And for a few years, I felt really good in New York. I felt like I was listening and growing and learning, but less so now. Even when I feel like minimalism has given me tremendous freedom and control to do what I honestly want to do, I feel like I've wasted that power, that ability, and I do feel alone. And I always second guess myself when I overshare, make videos and podcast episodes like this, but then I do get messages from people telling me how much just hearing my story and being vulnerable like this has helped them through similar situations. So I will continue to share what I can. And yeah, that's it.